What's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today we are doing the preview for the Day of Reckoning card that is taking place on Saturday, December 23rd. The preview and prediction for that. It will be on DAZN Pay-Per-View. If you're in the United States, it's going to be $40. I am gladly going to pay that $40 on Saturday morning. The whole card starts at like 8 o'clock on Saturday morning, so I'm going to sleep my ass off from a long week at work and then be up to watch this card. Now, before we get into it, if you could smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate any and all support that I can get as I continue to build my channel here. And again, guys, next Tuesday, the 2023 Champions Reports. A full-on recap from the year. Every title belt from 122 all the way to heavyweight from every governing body. The WBO, the IBF, the WBA, and the WBC. I'm going to cover all of them. And they're going to be, WBO is going to have their own video. The IBF will have their own video, and so on. And then also next Wednesday, I am starting my 2023 top 10s. The fighters in each division from 122 to heavyweight that made it to the top 10. Where they're at, they all get their own individual videos, and I count them down 10 to 1. So it should be fun. It's the thing I enjoy doing most for all my boxing videos. So please make sure to tune into that starting next week. A lot of content gonna be busted out for you guys. Now, back to this super stacked card that I cannot wait for. I am really excited, really pumped up about it. I think it's going to be fun. So we start with the undercard. You got Frank Sanchez, Cuban contender on the rise, battling Junior Fa of New Zealand. Frank Sanchez is an undefeated heavyweight contender, really trying to make his play for the top 10, and he's not far off of that. He's a very good technical fighter. He's got some pop too. He had a nice win a couple years ago over F.A. Jagba that really kind of bolstered his career, made him a threat. He's also trained by Eddie Reynoso, Canelo's trainer. So this guy can box. He's a good fighter, and he's taking on Junior Fa, who's not afraid to fight anybody. Fa's been in the ring with Joseph Parker and Lucas Brown, been defeated by both. He is going to get defeated again, in my opinion. I got Frank Sanchez winning this fight by a stoppage in the middle to later rounds after breaking him down. That's going to kick off the whole card. Then, after that, Arslanbek Makhmudov, dangerous and undefeated heavyweight puncher, is battling veteran Ajit Kabayel, the former European heavyweight champion. Kabayel has a victory about 5 years ago over Derek Chisora. He is a solid-ass fighter. A solid heavyweight. He is. But Arslanbek Makhmudov is the future. He's got a big punch. He's hungry. And I think he's coming for blood against the undefeated Kabayel. But Kabayel's a veteran, and he's never been beaten. So it should be an interesting one, but I got Makhmudov by a knockout to win this fight and push his career forward. Then another heavyweight fight is next, as Filip Hrgović, the reigning and undefeated mandatory #1 ranked contender right now in the IBF, prior to his next fight being a title fight, is taking on veteran Mark Demori. This should be a good one, as well as these two guys lock horns to, Hrgović trying to stay busy ahead of a big showdown for the world title in his next fight as he battles the veteran Demori. Demori, it's been a while since he lost, but he also, at 41, doesn't really fight big-time competition. I think Hrgović wins this fight by knockout into the early to the middle rounds and stays undefeated and poised for that world title shot. Next up is going to be, I think, undefeated and now former IBF Cruiserweight champion Jai Opetaia. He announced announced that he's vacating his world title because the IBF, for some reason, decided to try to force him to not take this fight with Ellis Zorro, the undefeated British contender. Now, I don't like this. I think it's bullshit that Opetaia has to vacate his belt, because Opetaia was supposed to make a mandatory next against Maris Bradis. They have a deal in place already for Opetaia to return in early 2024, likely on the Wilder and Joshua undercard in March. And Opetaia could take on Maris Bradis then in their rematch, and the mandatory is solved. Why not allow this one to be for a world title? Or on the flip side, why not allow Opetaia, or why not let him stay champion and just make it a non-title fight? What is wrong with that? He can just go out there and fight Zorro and stay busy, and it's a non-title fight. I got Opetaia winning this fight by angry knockout in the early to middle rounds after having to give up his world title. Next up, Dimitri Bivol, the reigning undefeated light heavyweight champion of the world, the Canelo Conqueror, also defeated Gilberto Ramirez last year, is returning to make like the 11th or 12th defense of his title when he battles Lyndon Arthur of the United Kingdom. I think Bivol wants the big undisputed title fight next year. I think he wants to put on a show. Lyndon Arthur's been in this spot before as the underdog, though, when he beat Anthony Yard. Yes, he did lose to Yard in the rematch, but he's hungry. This is his first world title shot. But I got Dimitri Bivol breaking down and beating up Lyndon Arthur in the late rounds, and I'm going to call a stoppage. I think he's going to stop him in the late rounds to stay the world champion. Then, a big heavyweight showdown, in my opinion. Jarrell Big Baby Miller, the undefeated American contender, on his comeback from his multiple positive tests for banned substances, is going to be taking on Daniel Dubois, the former WBA regular heavyweight champion. Dubois coming off that knockout loss to Alexander Usyk, but there was a controversy of the belt line shot that was there. I like, Big Baby Miller's coming off the win over Lucas Brown, a knockout win. I think this one can go either way, but the fact that Dubois is almost 10 years younger, I think he is going to box Jarrell Miller. It's going to be a banger, though. I think this one can go either way. Big punches are going to be thrown. Big punches are going to be landed. But I'm picking Daniel Dubois to win this fight by knockout towards the middle rounds, and to bounce back from that tough loss to Usyk in his first official major world title shot, even though technically Dubois is a former heavyweight champion already. But I think he's going to shake off that loss to Usyk with a victory here. The co-feature, or the double main event, Deontay Wilder, the former longtime WBC heavyweight champion of the world, is battling former WBO heavyweight champion Joseph Parker. Good matchup right here for both fighters. Parker trying to bounce back into the top 10, while Wilder tries to reestablish himself and lock down his side of the Wilder-Joshua showdown that's supposed to take place March 9th, as long as both fighters win. I think Joseph Parker, if he fights the perfect fight, could pull off the upset, but I think that's way less likely than Wilder landing a big shot and hurting Parker and stopping him. I'm picking Deontay Wilder by knockout by the 3rd or 4th round, as he will bounce back, or have his only fight this year, and he will lock down his side of the much desired showdown with Anthony Joshua. And then the official main event, Anthony Joshua, the former 2-time unified heavyweight champion of the world, defends his heavyweight crown. Not heavyweight crown, I'm sorry. Tries to get back into contention for a heavyweight crown when he battles Otto Wallin, the Swedish tough southpaw. Otto Wallin's a big boy. This is a good fight. He's highly confident. Has not had an opportunity against a major heavyweight since Tyson Fury back in 2019. and he gave Tyson Fury problems in that fight. Lost the decision. That's his lone defeat. Anthony Joshua needs to box and really bring this one. I think he's going to. I think Anthony Joshua is going to box, break down Otto Wallin, and you know what? I'm going to keep the knockout theme rolling. I think he's going to knock out Otto Wallin in the late rounds, coming in great shape and lock down his side of the showdown with Deontay Wilder. But I really wouldn't be surprised if this goes to the scorecards and if Joshua wins a decision. But Otto Wallin, in my opinion, of all the challengers on this entire card, I think Otto Wallin maybe stands the best to second best to pull off the victory in this fight. So he might be the most live underdog of all 8 fights on this card. Do not sleep on Otto Wallin, but I'm still picking Anthony Joshua. I think he's the better fighter. I do. It's not just because I want to see Joshua and Wilder. I do, but I'm picking him because I think he's the better fighter. I think he's hungry, and I think he wants that showdown. He wants to close out, making one last big run. And that starts here with Wallin, and it leads to Joshua in March. And I mean, leads to Wilder in March. And I think Anthony Joshua will lock down his side. So, recap real fast. I got Frank Sanchez by knockout over Junior Fa to kick off the show. I got Arslanbek Makhmudov to keep his undefeated record intact with a stoppage win over former European champion and undefeated Ajit Kabayel. I got Filip Hrgovic to stay busy and get a knockout victory over veteran Mark Demori. I got undefeated Jayo Pataya to score a knockout victory over undefeated Elizoro from the United Kingdom, as he's pissed off about being stripped of his world title. I got Dimitri Bivol scoring a late stoppage over Lyndon Arthur of the United Kingdom to retain his light heavyweight title. I got Daniel Dubois to knock out Jarrell Big Baby Miller in a big heavyweight showdown between 2 big hard punchers. I got Deontay Wilder knocking out Joseph Parker to lock down his side of the Wilder-Joshua showdown. And I got Anthony Joshua to stop Otto Wallin in the late rounds to lock down his side of the Joshua-Wilder showdown for March 9th. That is the Day of Reckoning DAZN pay-per-view preview and predictions video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.